For a long time, I believed I had done the worst possible thing a wife could do. I thought cheating was the lowest point of my life, the one mistake that would define me forever. But I was wrong. Because what I did wasn't the real betrayal. I was married to Mark for 15 years. At one point, I loved him so deeply I couldn't imagine a future without him. And then, something slowly disappeared. Not with screaming, not with fights, just silence. We stopped talking, stopped touching. He was always tired, always on his phone, always somewhere else, even when he was sitting right next to me. I became a wife, a mother, a routine, but not a woman. Then Daniel messaged me out of nowhere. We knew each other years ago, college friends. Nothing romantic back then, just a simple message. "Hey, how have you been?" That was all it took. We started talking, really talking, late at night, about life, about regrets. He asked how I felt, not how things were going, but how I was doing. And that scared me. The moment I realized I was waiting for his messages more than my husband's, I knew I was crossing a line. But I didn't stop. I remember that day clearly, standing in front of the mirror, telling myself, it's just coffee, just a conversation. I was lying to myself. When I came home that night, Mark was asleep. Our son, too. I sat alone in the kitchen, staring at the wall, trying not to cry. I wanted to confess. I really did. But every time I looked at my husband, I saw nothing. No anger, no curiosity, no interest. And that hurt more than guilt. A few weeks later, something changed. Mark became careful. His phone was always face down, new password, sudden business trips. And suddenly I thought, what if I'm not the only one? One night when he was in the shower, I did something I never thought I would do. I checked his phone. What I found shattered me. It wasn't one woman. It wasn't even two. It was years of messages, apartments, promises, the same words he once used on me, copied and pasted to other women. And then I saw a name that made my stomach drop. Emily. My sister. My own sister. I don't remember how I slept that night or if I did at all. I just remember thinking, I blamed myself, while the truth was so much worse. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He just said, "You haven't really been there for a long time." Something inside me died in that moment. Not the marriage, not love, trust. I didn't scream, I didn't beg. I packed my things, took my son, and walked out of a house that held 15 years of my life. I never texted Daniel again, because I finally understood he wasn't the cause. He was the symptom. Now I know this. Sometimes we think we cheated, when we were actually just trying to survive emotional emptiness we didn't create. Sometimes the real betrayal isn't an affair, it's silence, neglect, and staying with someone who left long before they said goodbye.